The year was 2018. The world watched as athletes gathered for the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Unbeknownst to all, a different kind of competition was unfolding in the digital shadows. This was a contest of cunning and code, with a prize beyond imagination. This was a heist for the 21st century. The target, not a bank vault, not a casino, but the very arteries of the global financial system. The perpetrators, not masked gunmen, but phantom hackers. Their faces hidden behind screens, their identities shrouded in mystery. Over several months, small fortunes began to disappear. Transactions occurred with no authorization, accounts drained with surgical precision. The victims, banks across the globe, their security systems seemingly powerless against this invisible enemy. By the time the alarm bells truly sounded, $1 billion had vanished. The perfect crime, it seemed, had been committed. The world gasped. How could this happen? How could such a staggering sum be stolen, not from individuals, but from institutions designed to be the bedrock of financial security? The answer, it turned out, lay not in brute force, but in chillingly elegant manipulation. The hackers had exploited a vulnerability, not in steel and concrete, but in the very fabric of trust that held the global banking system together. To understand the audacity of the heist, one must first understand its target, the SWIFT system. SWIFT, or the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, acts as the nervous system of global finance. This network is a messaging system, a conduit for trillions of dollars in transactions daily. Imagine a world without SWIFT. International trade would grind to a halt. Payments would be delayed, lost, or simply impossible. Businesses would crumble. The global economy would shudder. It is this system, the very lifeblood of international finance, that the hackers dared to infiltrate. SWIFT doesn't hold accounts or transfer money itself. Instead, it acts as a trusted intermediary. When a bank in London wants to send money to a bank in Tokyo, it sends a SWIFT message, a kind of secure digital telegram confirming the transaction. The receiving bank trusts this message implicitly, acting upon it to credit the recipient's account. This trust is the foundation of the entire system. The hackers understood this. They didn't need to steal money directly. They simply needed to manipulate the messages, to become invisible puppeteers, pulling the strings of this vast financial web. The preparation for the heist was meticulous, a testament to the hackers' patience and sophistication. They spent months, perhaps years, studying their target. They probed for weaknesses, not just in the SWIFT system itself, but in the human networks that surrounded it. They targeted specific individuals within banks, employees with access to sensitive systems, phishing emails, malware disguised as legitimate software, social engineering tactics. Every tool in the digital espionage arsenal was deployed. The hackers were like ghosts, slipping past firewalls and antivirus software, leaving barely a trace of their presence. Their goal was not to trigger alarms, but to silently gain access. They needed the keys to the kingdom, the credentials that would allow them to impersonate legitimate users, to send SWIFT messages that would be accepted without question. And they found them. With access secured, the hackers could begin their intricate dance. They began sending fraudulent SWIFT messages, instructing banks to transfer funds to accounts under their control. They moved money in small amounts initially, testing the waters, ensuring their activities remained below the radar. The first whispers of something amiss began with discrepancies in bank records. Small inconsistencies, easily dismissed as human error or technical glitches. But as the weeks passed, the discrepancies grew larger, more frequent. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. The investigation, when it finally began, was like piecing together a shattered mosaic. Banks across the globe compared notes, sharing data, desperately searching for a common thread. Cybersecurity experts were called in, their eyes scanning endless lines of code, searching for the digital fingerprints of the perpetrators. The trail, faint as it was, led to servers in North Korea. Suspicion fell upon the Lazarus Group, a shadowy hacking collective widely believed to be backed by the North Korean regime. This was no ordinary cybercrime ring motivated by personal gain. This was a nation-state wielding its digital prowess on a global scale.